$19 billion wiped away from the market. What the? Welcome to the Freedom Culture. Here at the Freedom Culture, I like to discuss current events in the financial sector, this new digital economy, and also breaking down blockchain technology in the most understandable terms possible. And I am still recovering from the weekend, late Friday night, Saturday morning for me. I could not get any sleep at all, and I had a lot of things to do later that day, but XRP started crashing hard, really hard, beyond my level of concern, which was about the $2.75 mark. So I was up even later trying to get to the bottom of this as if that was going to change anything at all, but it's good to know. However, supposedly this was because of an announcement that there will be 100% tariffs on China. Apparently, there was a dispute, and the mood that President Trump was going through motivated him to make a tweet that caused the markets to react the way it did. Due to the announcements, a lot of people rushed to sell, and there was too many traders during the time that was betting on the price of Bitcoin to go up. And when you make trades like this, you also set a stop loss order to get out of that trade at a price that you're not willing to stick around for in case the price drops any lower. Let's say I'm betting on Bitcoin to go up to 127,000, but I set a stop loss order just in case I'm wrong. I'm willing to get out of that trade at 120,000. A lot of people did the same behavior, and once Bitcoin hit one stop loss price, it'll hit another stop loss price, and it will keep spiraling down, and that's how we lost $20,000 off of the price within minutes. Once the first wave of stop losses was hit, it was like a row of dominoes, one liquidation after another. Everyone kicked out of their positions within the same time. I've been following tariff announcement patterns since Liberation Day, and it seems like an obvious sequence here. He'll call tariffs and the market does bad, and then he'll call off tariffs and the market gets brought back up to an even higher level than before. One tweet, 1,000% tariffs on a country, market crashes. The next tweet, this country isn't bad after all, market recovers. This created the term taco trade. TACO is the acronym for Trump Always Chickens Out, after people began to realize that these mood swings turned out to be very profitable. I kind of view these tariff announcements like a pump and dump trigger. I even show here on the charts that I posted on Patreon, and I show you the timing of these announcements and how the market reacts shortly after. There seems to be an obvious pattern. So I assume the right thing to do is to believe the narrative that's being provided, that he just felt like calling tariffs during the time, and he just so happened to be in the mood to make the announcement on a Friday night when most markets are closed and Wall Street doesn't have the chance to react. And with cryptocurrency being the only market open during the weekend to react to the news, all of the fear and volatility just concentrated from there. It's also ironic that there was a large bet against Bitcoin that was placed shortly right before the announcements of tariffs was made. That short against Bitcoin that the trader made profited him or her $200 million within minutes. There seems to be a lot of consistent, lucky coincidences that comes out of these tariff announcements. Many people lost, and a very few amount of people won. Another episode of The Rich Gets Richer. During this, after this announcement, markets crashed, and regular retail investors like myself was actually locked out of exchanges to buy more crypto due to technical errors, I guess. This was keeping me up all night. I personally felt like I was going through withdrawals, not being able to buy that dip at beautiful entries. I think XRP dropped to $1.85, so it dropped tremendously, and shortly after just picked right back up. Also, could not forget the fact that just a couple of days ago, Bitcoin was announced to be at an all-time high of 125,000. And during the time, I noticed a lot of people getting into Bitcoin who's usually not interested. And I started to say to myself that I sense euphoria. And this is usually an indicator of a macro top. And just a quick tip for those that don't know, try to avoid buying the top of the market. You feel me? You shouldn't be buying when everybody's excited and it's the trending thing to do. You should be more inclined on buying when things are boring, but you're aware of your asset. Things are on sale. You know, as per Warren Buffett says, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. That's typical investing wisdom 101. So basically, you know, how things been turning out, the times of during the times of a tariff announcement is likely the ideal time to buy. Not financial advice, but we live in a very predatory environment, and the predator senses the top when everyone's excited, and then that's when he takes his profit, takes everyone's money along with confidence. So with all that in consideration, I personally have a hard time settling with the idea that these are just unintentional mood swings that the officials go through that causes the markets to react in such timely fashion, and coincidentally, some people just get lucky. Imagine if we call things for what it is: market manipulation. Imagine rug pulling and pumping and dumping financial markets for billions on top of billions of dollars within 1 year. I personally feel like this is the only benefit to being a politician. Like, why else would you desire to let other people allow you to lead them unless you care to leave their money in your pocket? However, ultimately, I wouldn't trip, just buy the dip. If you know what you hold and you believe what you hold, don't sell anything under its value. You know, not financial advice, but ultimately, the trajectory of this market is going upwards regardless. So this is the infrastructure needed for the digital financial system. So it's going to be down for a moment and then it'll pop back up. Currency is current energy, and the money that you gain is mentally. There's been a lot of people going through it. Even heard of some suicides that came out of this. This is a serious matter. It's a tragic amount of money that was lost. However, I hope for no one to make any permanent decisions out of temporary matters. You know, you could be down 1 week and you're up next week. You feel me? So there's no losses. There's only lessons, and we're learning a lot out of this experience that we're going through. Anyways, I'm gonna end this on that note. Peace, love, and respect. Take care of yourself. I will follow this story very closely. Keep up with me on the Freedom Culture. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow my Patreon where I share information and data that I can't share on YouTube. You know, very exclusive. But take care of yourself. Peace, love, and respect.